Hey, this is part 2 of my diary for April 4th, 2023. I need to take a nap. Still making sure I don't get a cold. I've been buying a lot of Tylenol or cold medicine because it's been a challenging winter that still traumatizes me a bit. I'd like to tell the person that manages here that won't raise the temperature in the showers. Can you try taking a shower here, you and your husband, who volunteers? And see how you enjoy that floor that's cold in the shower and the walls, and how really there's no windows, but even if there was, I'd probably just turn on the air conditioning because they probably have it set at 14. I don't know if it was an accident, but when I was doing homework and she came back in when she's not working, the internet turned off for a bit. I don't know. They might be trying to save a little bit of internet. No, I should be paying between $200 and $250 a month here, not $500. And it's breaches of contract because I sent the email saying I'm about to send you an e-transfer to the owner, and it says what the expectations are that we agreed on, and they're not being met. There's no efforts to meet them, so when I leave again, it'll be like, oh, but we were so happy receiving your money, and we might have given you a great discount of $500 for the second month. It's, when the weather's nicer. Yeah, no, trust has not been established since the beginning, and sense of community and just care and concern for others, and it's all about this, It's like pieces of teeth. I had this tooth fixed like 4 times. Oh my God, they're happy dentists to fix this. It's quick. They charge money. They help pay their staff, their offices, their elite status. But it's a temporary. They probably know. I mean, they don't say, that's not going to last for 10 years. They don't say it's a temporary fix. It might not even last a year. And they're so happy to, lower my underinsured dental plan as a poor person, and creating more poverty in my life by repeating the same repair while they get income with a quick fix that is temporary. And I approached a dentist yesterday, and there seems to be very tricky ways to get money out of our insurance plans. They're all kind of struggling, but they're kind of wanting to take people, but the people that do things their way. It's not about dental work. It's about a money laundering scheme, like sell these coupons, and if you sell this many per day, then you'll get this bonus. That's pretty much what all services are now. It's all about getting ahead in creative ways. And it's not just creative to fool the customer, it's creative to fool our conscience. Our conscience has to be fooled, otherwise we feel guilty, and then we can't continue as a failed species so easily during the Anthropocene and keep speeding it up. No, but I mean, like their hygienist, this one, oh yeah, of course, we take new patients. Oh, the hygienist, yeah, you just want that, but that's that the appointment would be in July. But we could get you a dental appointment before, a full checkup. All the x-rays that are so cheap now to do. But we still charge a great discount for it. And you're lucky we're only going to charge you what the ministry pays because we're so great. But we'll scam you in other ways and create more poverty in your life. So, but no, you want to see the hygienist? You got to see the dentist first. No, and there's no like dentist coming in for 5 minutes during the hygienist appointment. No, we don't do that anymore. That's too client-centered. And so it's like there should be an investigation. And then they'd have to arrest dentists, or at least or disbar some, if that's the right word, or take their license away. And they can't do that because that's not enough. So they'd have to put them on probation. And then there has to be public servants who actually serve the public to be able to, investigate and monitor these probation periods for dentists and doctors and, mental health workers and all this, who are, creating the inequalities, the human rights violations, the unfairness, the broken systems to become more systemic and accelerate during the Anthropocene. But that's a lot to ask. I mean, I'm reading, I'm enjoying this book, but it is kind of juvenile. I agree with everything, and it's informative in the way that, there's a lot of research that was done about dates and concepts that I already know about, but that has details. So, for example, Kazakhstan, I'm working with I started working with horses, and I hope to continue. And Kazakhstan supposedly is where between 5,500 and 6,000 years ago is where the horses were domesticated for the first time, the wild horses. And and it and it's like people don't understand. Like for example, the concept of pests. Like a dogs are really like if you look at the history of how they became so linked to us, it's really we were throwing a lot of our food away in irresponsible ways, and some of the wolves, I guess, moved away from their packs and became pest wolves, and that's really the history of what dogs are. They are codependent with bad behaviors as people primates, pests. And it talks a lot, like I'm about to start 85, where it talks about great mistakes in the Chinese empires, and with a lot of invasive species and things like that, and not understanding how they're breaking ecosystems, and they're still doing it today. So, it's really about, why aren't we talking about repeating the same mistakes in history? And why aren't we talking about how it's so obvious, these mistakes, and we keep doing it as a so-called very brilliant species in all these different ways we think we are when we're not? And yeah, so there's a lot of ways he phrases things that I don't agree with. But one thing that people will find appealing about this is that it doesn't attack the reader, because, and it can try to attack me as a reader if it wants, but I kind of on top of this way before this guy was. And because if he attacks the reader, like I say, 99.98% of you, and when I say this, you still think you're the 0.02%, except you don't want me to verify if you are. But at least, although he's not, everybody reads this and they say everybody else is an idiot probably, but at least they're starting to get phase one of a paradigm shift that is too little too late anyways, about how screwed up we are as a species. So today is I'm pretty discouraged still about how society is here, and how the employer. I just applied for a job that's part time. I would be working alongside the RCMP in the legal system and victim services. I hope to get this job, and I hope to stay with the one I have now just on the weekends. But I haven't heard back from them unless it's in the work email, which I haven't checked because I'm having internet issues, unless I go to the library, which is risky for my vehicle to overload and blow my battery again. So there's a lot of ways that I kind of inform people, and I wait to see what they're going to do, and nobody really wants to act as community. It's every man, woman, and child for themselves, as if there's a monopoly game that people try to play, and dentists or people that have access to housing, even if it's crappy housing, sometimes it's land they may or may not keep having in their name for long, but they still want a whole bunch of people to go there and pay them money. Like it's not about others, right? It's about the monetary paradigm getting ahead, because the more you get ahead in the monopoly game of assets, the more you can control others in our modern slavery system, which is related to assets and resources and money. And it's really hard for me to access my money now. People have probably, I mean, it's not hard when you pay something in a store, but let's say even e-transfers seem to be more complicated. Patterns I'm picking up are using my password online, because if I do something online, they're not sure what I'm going to do. But if I'm in a store, I'm pretty sure the banks know what I'm going to do. Is I'm not going to, like, I can withdraw cash in certain places with my transactions, so I don't have to get additional bank fees by doing that and having cash for other purchases. But one guy in the store was saying how, oh yeah, a lot of people are getting their money out. And anyways, there's other things I wanted to say as a follow-up. So this is part two, but I'm going to review my part one to see what I forgot before I do part three of my diary for today.